Yep, the KTM 690 Enduro R. I hear it all the time that it's a gigantic pig. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you a whole lot about the KTM 690 and why it's not a pig and why it's probably, pretty much the unicorn for, enduro riding and dual sporting. Coming up next on the Radio 690 ADV. KTM North Texas is your headquarters for everything KTM and your one-stop shop. Hey guys, Joe here, 690 ADV. Are you looking for a new KTM bike? Yeah, they got them. They got adventures, enduros, dirt, racing, street, parts and service? Yeah, they got it. KTM North Texas is one of the largest aftermarket parts suppliers and repair shops in the state of Texas. Yeah, Texas. They don't just service KTM. They service most every major brand out there. If you're needing a fix or just getting race ready, you needing some new gear? Yeah, KTM North Texas, they got it. From helmets to jackets, pants, boots, goggles, tires, rims, new plastics, and so much more. So if you want great deals and to be treated just like family, don't wait. Call 817-275-2228 or text 682-465-6637. Or you can just email Bert directly at bert@slmracing.com. Don't forget, tell him 690 ADV sent you. That way you get your discount. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy, Monday. It would have been Sunday, but yesterday was some pretty good NFL football. So this is that time of year that I like to get my football time in, and podcasts are kind of secondary. So I enjoy football. So I don't know if you do, but if you do, congratulations. Hopefully your team won yesterday. If it didn't, well, there's always next week. Anyway, this will be our last podcast until after Thanksgiving. So everybody, I hope, has a fantastic and awesome Thanksgiving day. And if the weather's nice, get out, ride, go kind of get some adventure time in and enjoy your day. If not, then, just sit around, eat turkey, watch some football, and get fat like I'm going to do, and maybe have a couple of beers or whatever it is that you like to do. Here in Dallas-Fort Worth, it is going to be raining. Awesome. And it's going to be about 50 degrees, so it's going to be kind of a dismal kind of day, but no big deal. We'll be just fine. So anyway, on today's topic, KTM, I hear it all the time, and it's so frustrating. It's so irritating because there's so many people out there that, and it's hard to gauge. It's totally hard to gauge people. And most of it comes out of social media, like Facebook or something like that. You make a video or you make any kind of posting or anything like that about, the KTM 690, and that's all you hear is it either needs to be a 350 or a 450 or a 500 or whatever. The KTM's just a giant fat pig, and then it's this and it's that, and it's just too heavy. The capabilities are not there with that bike because of its weight, and that will hinder you, and that you won't be able to do this, or you won't be able to do that, or you won't be able to, and the list goes on and on and on. Frustrating. Most of these guys have never ridden one. They've never owned one. All they go off of is a spec listing that's out there. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with going off a spec list, but just make sure you have your facts together about motorcycles before you jump up and start, putting your 2 cents in, because your 2 cents ends up getting subtracted by 2 cents, and then you end up with no sense because it just makes no sense. The KTM 690 Enduro R, for what it is, is quintessentially the best dual sport motorcycle on the planet, and it's proven, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's been around for, since 2008. Now, granted, was it fantastic when it first came out? Every bike is the dream bike when it first comes out. It doesn't matter what you get. They're all fantastic. They're all amazing. your bike's the best bike. I understand that. Yeah, I get that. You know, and you're passionate about your motorcycles and your, you know, yada, yada, yada. But the KTM 690 Enduro R was built and made to fill a hole or a void for guys that want to ride off-road in very technical environments. It is capable. It can, it will. There are videos everywhere stating, proving, showing that it can be done. But the other side, if you flip the coin over, it's highly capable as a road machine. Very capable. And I mean very capable of pulling down some pretty long miles. And better than, I mean, pick a bike. Pick a bike. It does the road better than the DR650. It does the road better than a KLR650. It does the road better than any of the 250s. She'll hum at 75, 80, no problem. You know, you get all these guys that complain about the death wobble. Here's the deal. Learn how to set your bike up. Stop talking about the death wobble and all these things. Set your bike up. Learn more about your motorcycle. That's it. Learn more about your motorcycle. Every guy that I know that owns a 690 and rides has no problems in their front end. That's usually due to improper setup of a motorcycle. And that can happen on an 800, that can happen on a 400, it can happen on a 250, and it can definitely happen on a 690. So, back to the big fat pig situation of the bike. Here's the deal. Depending on if you're truly an adventure rider or an enduro rider, there's a difference. There's a huge difference in what that is. You see all these guys, they have a backpack on, goggles, and they're out single tracking and they're jumping and doing all these things. Those guys aren't getting on the road. There's no luggage on the back. There's no nothing on the back. These guys are not doing a multi-day, pushing down, you know, somewhere between 100, 200 on the highway and then doing 100 off road to get to camp. You're not seeing that and you don't hear that. So that's why I usually take it with a grain of salt when these guys go off running their mouth about, you know, how big, fat, heavy that motorcycle is. It's not. The KTM 690 Enduro R is a feather compared to all the other bikes in its classification. It is. It's completely lighter. It's not even remotely close. It's amazing, you know, but then you get there's one bike that gets great kudos and it's a fantastic bike. The WR250R. It's a 250. It's not going to compete with a 690. It's just not. It's not going to compete with it off road. It's not going to compete with it on the road. Is it going to do a great job? Is it a fantastic bike? Is it amazing? Yes, yes, and yes. But it's not a 690. The maintenance intervals on a 690 are fantastic. They're just nice. They work perfect. They work right along the lines with all the other bikes that are out there. Reliability. If your KTM 690 is having issues, it's probably you. I have almost 4,500 maintenance, no problems, no nothing. I take care of my bike. I don't dog it. I don't wheelie every chance I get it. Every chance I get, I don't sit there and, you know, redline it every single second. Now, granted, it is a high performance bike and you are supposed to open it up some just because of the valves and the pistons and all that. I get that. You're not supposed to putt around. But I don't dog it and I don't rag my bike. I take care of my bike. That's why if you ever see one of my bikes up for sale, grab it quick because it is an immaculate, no problem, any of it. It's you have just scored. You've got a fantastic bike. But all the things, it's a pig, it's unreliable. You can't this with it. You can't single track. Yes, you can. I've done it. It's quite easy. Does it do it as good as a 500 or a 350 or something like that? Of course not. That's not what it was made for. But will it do it? You bet your butt it'll do it. It'll do it with no problem. You're just not going to be able to go 50 miles an hour down a single track with, you know, trees and tight rocks and stuff like that. You're going to have to slow it up a little bit. But I tell you what, when you get out on the highway, let's see who wins on that. It's a trade-off. It's a complete and utter trade-off. I'm going to dog you on the road. I'm going to get you, and then you're going to get me off road. But here's the deal. You're going to be able to go where I go on road, and I'm going to be able to go where you go off road, even on your 2 strokes or whatever. Am I going to be able to do it as well? No, I'm not. But I'm going to be able to do it, and I'm going to be able to do it a whole lot better than a KLR 650 or a DR 650 or an XR 650, definitely any of the twins, the DL 650, the V-Stroms, the GS 700, 800, the KTM 1090, the Africa Twin, any of those. The 690 will destroy any of those bikes off-road. I don't care what you say. And it's usually not the bike. It's usually the rider that makes the bike fantastic. But back to the main topic of it's a big fat pig. It weighs 308 pounds before you put fuel in it. With fuel, we already have a video on it. It's about 334 pounds wet. That's oil, gas, everything. And that all come from the United, whatever you want to call it, the Petroleum Institute of what it actually truly weighs. Now, there are certain modifications that you can make. You can even get it lighter, but the thing is you don't want it too light. You don't want it too light. That's the reason for highway. If it's too light, you're going to get blown around the highway. You're going to get up to about 80 miles an hour, and that bike it's going to feel like it's going to just float away. You need a little bit of, you need it. You need a little bit of weight. I'm not saying too much weight, but if you adventure, ADV, adventure travel, you need a little bit of weight if you're actually going to do it. And all these guys go out and they run their mouth, and what they do is they go out to the local trails and stuff like that, then they go home at night. They're not doing 1,000 miles in 3 days or 4 days, with highway and, in dirt. They're not doing it. And they're not doing a multi-state travel on it either. Now, some of them are. I will say that. But usually guys that are doing the big long hauls, they're probably not the ones that are running their mouth. You got all these dirt bike guys. I get it. I love dirt bikes. They're so much fun. They're fantastic. They're great and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, the 690 Enduro R is not a true Enduro bike. It is in the Enduro classification, but it will do street fantastic. It does a great job. You put a seat concepts on there, and man, you can knock the miles down. Not only that, if you lighten your load, you can get off-road, man. And I mean, you can just get it. It will do the business. And yes, go watch the videos, watch the pictures. You can jump a 690. Man, I've seen guys jump a 690, 30 feet in the air. So don't even start with that. Pig, no. For adventure traveling and being an ADV rider as myself that likes to pack his gear and camp at a different place every single night and doing a multi-1,000-mile adventure over anywhere from 6 to 12 days, KTM's a king, and especially the 690. I don't care what anyone says. Now, the 701, great. It's husky. It's still basically a KTM. It's fantastic. That bike is amazing. I'm sure it will do it too. We're not talking about that. But anyway, back to the 690R, Big Fat Pig. I give it the big thumbs down on that. It is a fantastic bike. It's probably the best of all of them to get out and adventure ride. So if you're thinking about a KTM 690, think about the things that I just talked about and understand that if you want to get out and do it, that bike is second to nobody. It's probably the best. And it's a fantastic bike, especially the newer ones. They're only getting better with every year that they keep making them. Anyway, KTM, I'm Joe, Radio 690 ADV. Thanks for stopping in. And until the next podcast, I appreciate you. And if you're thinking about a KTM 690 Enduro R, think about, some mild upgrades whenever you do it, like upgrade the bark busters, on the handguards and the skid plate that comes because it's plastic, and maybe the frame bolts or something like that. Those are some of the main things you want to do. Oh, and also the brake lever. Either get a new brake lever or get the carbon fiber protector that goes on the side of the engine casing. But other than that, it doesn't need a whole lot. Oh, definitely, if you want to get road, get a seat concepts for that bad boy. Anyway, I'm Joe, Radio 690 ADV. Thanks for stopping in. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. Be safe out there. Find your adventure, and only believe half the stuff that you hear on social media, because most of it is garbage and it's biased stuff. You guys have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. 690 out.